All right, so moving on. That was the whys. Now we're going to move on to being healthy, the body. And here's a lady that I've met several years ago. And Deborah, she just seems to get, every time I run into her, she seems to be getting younger. It's like she's reversing the age. Instead of getting older, she looks more fit. She looks healthier. There's always a spring to her step. The energy is contagious. She's been in the fitness industry for over 14 years, a very busy mom, and runs online and private classes for her clients. And typically her clients seem to be, those busy mothers that are having the weight of the world on their shoulders, being the best mom they can while being successful. Welcome, Debbie. Is there anything I missed there, Deborah, on how I should have introduced you even better?
No, I don't think you missed anything. I appreciate the compliments. Sometimes my body after some of the workouts would have to argue with you about the getting younger aspect. Definitely as I approach the later 40s, it takes longer and longer to recover from those workouts. But yeah, no, I appreciate the introduction and I'm excited to talk about this. This is something I'm very passionate about. Actually, it's something that has been a lifelong learning process for me, learning what I need to do in order to be most successful with both my physical, my health, and also my business. And it has been mornings, absolutely winning the morning.
Yeah, it took me a long time to learn this. And your fitness routine, I have to say, by the way, when we worked together in December, that was almost the best shape I've been in, and totally use Debbie, as the fitness is phenomenal and helps a lot with the mindset too. And in turn helps with your career. But I remember at my Sanivex days and university days, I wouldn't take 8:15 classes because they're too early in the morning, right? I was a night hawk. But I realized shortly, you really only control two parts of your day, the nighttime in the morning. And a lot in the nighttime, that's where a lot of bad habits are formed. Why is it so important to start your day off right?
I think the most important thing to remember is when you start your day off in a certain manner, that sets the tone for your entire day. So if you start your morning with kind of moving slow, scrolling, wasting some time on social media, not really having yourself organized, you can be pretty sure the rest of your day is going to go that way. You ask some of the most, or do some research on some of the most successful people in the world. And if you read, what do you attribute to your success? A very, very large portion will say a solid morning routine. Almost every single one of them will say they get up in the morning, they get up earlier than what they normally, what would be considered the normal time to wake up. They get up earlier, they get themselves organized, they get their workout done, and they get all those things out of the way so that when they get to work or when they log on or whatever, they are ready to go, that they don't have all these other things distracting them.
I've read that same thing. And do you mind sharing what your morning routine is?
I don't mind at all. And in fact, the biggest thing with a solid morning routine actually starts the night before. And this is really, like you said, you can control your evening and your morning, and there's a whole lot of stuff that happens in between. But a really good morning routine starts with a great evening routine. Because if you lay out, whether it's your workout clothes or your work clothes, whatever that is, for me, it's both. I'm kind of fortunate that way that my workout clothes is my work clothes. But whatever that is, if you plan to exercise in the morning, make sure those clothes are ready. Make sure all of that is organized. Because if the first thing you have to do is get up and spend 15 minutes trying to figure out what to wear and where's my sneakers and where's this and what's that, it's going to get very frustrating. The easier you make it for yourself, the more likely you are to do what needs to be done. So if you roll out of bed and you put on your workout clothes right away, because they are right there ready to go. And this is a bit of an odd thing that I learned a number of years ago, and it really works. And I don't know why, but I just know it does. Put on a pair of sneakers or runners or a pair of footwear that's not slippers, but an actual pair of shoes where you have to tie them up. for some reason, you just move more, you move better, you move quicker, you're not shuffling around quite as much. And that's just for anything, whether you're, if you're just getting ready in the morning, if you're cleaning house, if you're doing work, when you have footwear on, for some reason, you just do more. So that's my routine. First thing I do, my clothes are laid out the night before. I know what most of my meals are going to be that next day. I have that all organized before I go to bed. I may not have it all prepped and prepared, but I know what's happening. I know what's for dinner the next day. I know what I need. I know what my kids need. All of that is ready to go. I put on my workout gear, I put on my sneakers, tie them up, and I'm ready to go.
So make it as easy as possible to start that.
Make it as easy as possible. The easier you make it for yourself, the easier it's just going to be, the more likely you are to do it. If you put up all these obstacles, oh my goodness, all your clothes are still in the dryer. Oops, no, they're actually not. They're still in the washer because you forgot to put them into the dryer the night before. Those sorts of things. You're just going to go, forget it. It's not worth it.
Right.
So
and there is, that your brain is going to push back a lot of times, just staying in bed. And
exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And you said something earlier, and this is what a lot of this comes down to as well. You were talking about the habits creating habits. And there's that saying, motivation is what gets you started, habit is what keeps you going. I don't believe in that. I don't believe, I think habit will keep you going eventually, but there's a big period of time between when you're motivated and when it becomes a habit, a very big period of time. Some people say 21 days.
Yeah.
People I've worked with, it could be months. What happens in between is discipline. You're motivated, if somebody signs up for my program or they sign up for a class or they go, okay, I just watched this great webinar by Eileen and Deborah and Steve, and I'm going to get my morning and I want to read books and I'm going to do this. And you're really, really motivated. And then all these things might happen. You might do that for a few days, and then something happens and you end up staying up really late one night. And then something else happens and you don't get your workout in, or something else happens and you don't read, that chapter you wanted to read on that particular day. And then all of a sudden that motivation is gone. You're not motivated to do it anymore. Your reason why is gone, but it hasn't yet become a habit. It takes discipline. It's doing something, even if you don't necessarily want to, it's doing it anyways.
And doing the important things first, other health.
Get those important things done first. Absolutely. And when you do that, you're going to be much more likely to get everything done that you need.
Sometimes we have spouses or young kids or there's lots of things that might handcuff us from starting a powerful morning routine. Where is the best place for someone to start when creating a morning routine?
First thing is the night before, figuring out what your top 3 of the morning is. What are the top 3 things you want to get done? Not a huge to-do list of all the things ideally in this ideal world that you would like to get done, but what are your top 3? What are my top 3 things that I want to do tomorrow? I need to shoot a video. I need to get my workout in, and I need to, for me, it's one of the things that I procrastinate on is reviewing journals. I need to get those 3 things done tomorrow morning, because after lunch, my brain doesn't work quite as well. I know when my most productive time is, it's in the morning, and I need to get that done. So there's my top 3. And that changes. Some days it's very similar. My workout usually is the one that I want to get done. But once you know what your top 3 is, you have your priorities. And then I have a little bit of a routine, my do's and don'ts. The biggest one is not having my phone by my bed. It is still my alarm, so I still have it on, but it's across the room. So that when that alarm goes off, I physically have to get my butt out of bed, across the room to turn off the alarm, because it's really easy just to reach over to the nightstand and hit snooze and go back to sleep, or reach for the phone, pick it up and start scrolling. And how many times have you thought you were only going to be scrolling social media for 2 or 3 minutes, and the next thing you know, it's 20?
Yes.
Right. And that's gone right into either your workout time or, your top 3 priority time, or even just shower time. It's cut into your time. So that's the biggest thing. I don't have my phone by my bed. The only thing by my bed is my water and my list, my top 3 list. It's right there. So I can start drinking my water right away, and I can have a quick reminder of my list and go, okay, I've already got my butt out of bed because I had to go turn off the alarm. and now I'm ready to go. So I don't even look at my phone until I've got myself cleaned up, dressed, and ready to start my day. Then I will pick up my phone. I turn off all the notifications for Facebook, social media, all that sort of stuff. There's no notification. So I physically have to go into those apps if I want to actually see what's in there. So it's not buzzing at me or beeping at me.
Yeah, hear that, folks? Like it might feel like really hard to do, to turn off all those notifications, and you want to feel really important. But you heard it from Eileen and you heard it from Deborah. They are so distracting, and they're keeping you from doing what you're meant to do, what you're on this planet to do, from becoming that better version of yourself. It can be so destructive, right?
We have all of these things that are meant to make us more productive, but they really become these huge distractions.
Yes.
When you're not, if you're just putting out fires all the time because bing, somebody messaged you this, or ding, somebody messaged you this. Oh, look at this, look at this Facebook video, or look at the news story. That's the big thing these days that's very distracting, is every single news story that comes out, somebody has to share something, right? And then you read that, and then you're down that rabbit hole. It's meant to make us more productive, but it's really, really distracting.
Yeah, every time I watch
you get your emotions up too.
Yeah, I get infuriated, and I notice that it stops me being productive as well. So I don't watch the news very often.
Exactly.
If you were to give one takeaway for someone to really try to start a morning routine on the right foot to get started, what would be the one takeaway you would give them?
Make your routine the same every day so you know what to expect.
Right.
So the same nighttime routine, I'm going to lay out my clothes. I'm going to get my meals organized. I'm going to go to bed at a decent hour, because that's a big thing. If you want to get up early, you can't stay up watching Netflix all night long. Right?
Yeah, so a lot of it starts
or
the
Eileen,
night.
Sorry, Eileen, it's not reading all the time. Some people get caught reading, right? And then all of a sudden I have to read the next chapter. But it's picking a routine and sticking with the same routine, going to bed at the same time. If you have to go to bed earlier in order to get up earlier, that's what you have to do. And then getting up at the same time. Don't hit snooze. Get up, cross your room, turn it off, get that clothes on, get the sneakers on, and get moving with your top 3 right away.
Right. And you don't have to beat yourself up if you can't do it every single day, but just every day is a new day. And the best way to win the day, I guess, I thought in the morning, but it's actually the night before, right?
It is the night before.
Yeah.
That's where it starts.
Anything exciting coming down the road for you, and how can people get in touch?
There's always something exciting coming down the road, because my biggest thing I do is I go, okay, what do my clients need right now? And then I create new things. So who knows what's coming down the road? Right now, my online programs are wrapping up. I am going to take the summer off from my online programs, but I still do private training in my studio and virtually now. COVID has opened up this whole new realm of business for me, where I train people one-on-one virtually. It just like this does Zoom. They're on one end exercising, I'm on the other end yelling at them. It's great. I do virtual fitness classes and outdoor classes here in Fall River, Nova Scotia. And again, the outdoor classes are still live streamed. So wherever you are, I have clients and class participants all across Canada now. So people tune in and exercise with me from all across Canada. And then, in September, I'll have my online programs running up again. There's a 4-week one and an 8-week one. And who knows, by then I might come up with something else.
It just shows, you have that strong morning routine. It shows you're getting a lot done there. Well, listen, I know both of you guys have to run. I want to thank you very much. I've realized the healthy, wealthy, and wise, maybe I have to break it down into 2 parts, because what I found very, very interesting and very useful, and I would love to spend more time with each of you guys. Is that okay? Is that something we can do down the road?
I would absolutely love that anytime.
All right. Well, I'm going to conclude. Feel free. I know both of you guys have to run, but thank you so much. A fountain of knowledge. And here's to the best. Down with the lockdowns, and here's to our success. Let us be healthy, wealthy, and wise.